Jai Sitaram to everyone. अर्जे हमारे सिया हो प्रभु, श्री कृष्ण चंद्र महाराज अर्घ्य हमारे सिया हो प्रभु आई श्री कृष्ण चंद्र महाराज मैं डोली पट सवारा हूँ लाखों मेरे राज ओ कृष्ण धर्म मानो कृष्ण रे राधवन रावण पासी विपिन विराट करे नटवर मेरी जान निरंजन करुणा दान नटवर मेरी धार निरंजन करुणा ज्ञान जय ज्ञान मूल तुम्हारे है भगवन नाम गुण तुम्हारे है भगवन रगति सदाई हरे आगम जो मन मारो
प्रक्षालनां समर्पयामि। ओम रक्षते मां समर्पयामि, रक्षते मां समर्पयामि। वसुदेव सुतं देवं कंसचाणूर मधुरं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं कृष्ण।
चले हनुमान आए, श्री राम जी के धूंध मचाए। चले हनुमान आए, श्री राम जी के धूंध मचाए। चले हनुमान आए, श्री राम जी के धूंध मचाए। चले हनुमान आए, श्री राम जी के धूंध मचाए। राम
गजकर्णकः लम्बोदरश्च विघ्नतो विघ्नराशो गणाधिपते धूम्रकेतुर्गणाध्यक्ष भालचन्द्रो गजाननम् एकांशुकर्मो वीरस्कन्दपूर्वजा जय शिव गजानन स्वामी की जय ओम गं गणपतये नमः
check one.
गजानन स्वामी की वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं
या देवी सर्वभूतेषु सरस्वती रूपे न संस्कृता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः गुरु ब्रह्मा गुरु विष्णु गुरु देवा गुरु साक्षात् परम ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे हनुमान को खुश करना हनुमान को खुश करना आसान होता है हनुमान को खुश करना आसान होता है सिंदूर चढ़ाने से कोई काम होता है सिंदूर चढ़ाने से कोई काम होता है हनुमान को खुश करना आसान होता है हनुमान को खुश करना कर ले भजन दिल से हनुमान चलेगा कर ले भजन दिल से हनुमान चलेगा जिसको भरोसा है अनमीत लगेगा वह आनंद है जानेगा दुनिया होता है वह आनंद है जानेगा दुनिया होता है सिंदूर चढ़ाने से कोई काम होता है सिंदूर चढ़ाने से कोई काम होता है हनुमान को खुश करना आसान होता है हनुमान को खुश करना आसान होता है हनुमान के जैसा कोई देव न दूजा हनुमान के जैसा कोई देव न दूजा सबसे बड़ी करने हनुमान की पूजा वो धर्म दिल का इनका होता है वो धर्म दिल का इनका हनुमान होता है सिंदूर चढ़ाने से
जो राम नाम नहीं गाते वो जीते जी मर जाते। जो राम नाम गाते हैं वो परम धाम पाते हैं। बोलो राम सिया राम जय जय राम। जो राम नाम नहीं गाते वो जीते जी मर जाते। जो राम नाम गाते हैं वो परम धाम पाते हैं। राम सिया राम जय जय राम। राम सिया राम जय जय राम। राम नाम जपते हर कष्ट मिटे जीवन का। राम नाम के करते और भोजन संसार। राम नाम के जपते हर कष्ट मिटे जीवन का। राम नाम के करते और भोजन का। जो राम नाम गिराते वो पग पग धोख लगाते। जो राम नाम गाते हैं वो परम धाम पाते हैं। राम सिया राम जय जय राम। राम सिया राम जय जय राम। हर तेरा पार लगाए। इस राम नाम का सुमिरन मन में उजियारा लाए। इस राम नाम ही जग में हर तेरा पार लगाए। इस राम नाम का सुमिरन मन में उजियारा लाए। जो राम नाम नहीं जाते और सागर में फंस जाते। जो राम नाम गाते हैं वो परम नाम पाते हैं। राम सिया राम जय जय राम। राम सिया राम जय जय राम। इस राम नाम से भर के कुछ और नहीं है साचा। कबीरा ने ही बताया गुरु ने भी यही बाचा। इस राम नाम से भर के कुछ और नहीं है साचा। कबीरा ने ही बताया गुरु ने भी यही बाचा। जो राम नाम बुलाते वो धन्य धन्य हो जाते। जो राम नाम गाते हैं वो परम नाम पाते हैं। राम सिया राम जय जय राम। राम सिया राम जय जय राम। राम सिया राम जय जय राम। राम सिया राम जय जय राम।
स्वाहा ओम स्वाहा ओम स्वाहा ओम स्वाहा श्री स्वाहा श्री स्वाहा श्री रुद्राय स्वाहा
साक्षी जोतो वाली माता तेरी जय जयकार जय जयकार जय जयकार। तूने मुझे बुलाया शेरवाली। मैं आया शेरवाली। तूने मुझे बुलाया शेरवाली। मैं आया शेरवाली। ओ जोता वाली सहारा वाली मेरा वाली। तूने मुझे बुलाया शेरवाली। मैं आया शेरवाली। रानी तूने सबको दर्शन दे तूने सबको दर्शन दे अपने गले लगाया शेरवानी मैं आया शेरवानी तूने मुझे बुलाया शेरवानी मैं आया शेरवानी ओ जोतावानी महारानी ओ मेरा वाली तूने मुझे बुलाया शेरवानी मैं आया शेरवानी तूने मुझे बुलाया शेरवानी मैं आया शेरवानी
ॐ सर्वपापहरं दिव्यं गाङ्गेयं निर्मलं जलमाच्मनेकं वैरुद्धं विहार परमेश्वरं ॐ वनस्पतिरसोरभूतो गन्धार्यो गन्ध उत्तम आग्रेना देवानं भूपोऽयं प्रतिगृहीतां प्रेम से बोलो श्री अग्नि देवता भगवान की जय
बोलो शिव शिव शंभो बम 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 बोलो शिव शिव शंभो बम 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 बोलो शिव शिव शंभो बोलो शिव शिव शंभो बम 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 बोलो शिव शिव शंभो बम
प्रेम से बोलो महापति महादेव की जय। जय सीताराम। I know it's been about 18 months since we've been to the temple. Let's try that again. Huh? Jai Sitaram. That's very good. Namaste. Jai Guru Datta. Om Sai Ram. Sat Sri Akal. Welcome this evening. Let us all please sit upright for a few minutes as we give our obeisances, praise and thanks to Bhagwan for allowing us this golden opportunity to assemble like this at the beautiful FHO Shiva Mandir here in Oakland Park, Florida, to celebrate tonight 2 birthdays and of course a wedding anniversary. As you sit upright this evening, gently close your eyes, clasp your hands, breathe very slowly with your backs upright. Cleanse your minds of all thoughts prior to coming to Shiva Mandir today. If you can focus your attention now to any form of Bhagavan, any form of God. We ask for the blessings tonight for all those who are here, who are joining us remotely, those who could not be here for one reason or the other, all those who are sick and suffering in the hospitals, ICUs, recovering at home, wherever your thoughts can take us tonight. For those beloved who we have lost over the past 18 months, so many in our community, tonight we go first before the feet of Bhagavan Shri Ganesha, the remover of all obstacles. Prathama Pujye Vinayaka. Let us pray. Hari 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 Let us all blend our voices. Sri Ganeshaya Namaha, Sri Saraswate Namaha, Sri Guru Charana Kamale Namaha, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. We go now before the feet of the Divine Mother of this universe, Jaganande Bhavani Shankar Mata. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samsthita Namastasye 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 Namo Namah. We go now to Mount Kailash to the feet of Bhagavan Shiva. Karapura Gauram Karunavataram Samsara Saram Bhujagendraharam Sada Vasantam Hridayarvinde Bhavam Bhani Sahitam Namami Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami. Now to the feet of Mahavir Swami Pavanaputra Hanuman Ji. Atulit Baladhamam Ema Shailabadeham Danujavana Krishanum Jnaninam Agraganyam Sakala Gunanidhanam Vanaranam Adisham Raghupati Priya Bhaktam Bhakjatam Namami. Now to the feet of Bhaktivinodan Biharila Bhagavan Shri Krishna. O Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansa Chanur Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagat. Now, Satyanarayan Bhagavan Lord Vishnu. Om Shantakaram Bhujagashayanam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadharam Gagana Sadrusham मेघवर्णं शुभांगं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिहृद्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुं भावभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथं 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 हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम। प्रेम से बोलो श्री सत्यनारायण भगवान की जय। Let us now go to the first shloka of Sri Ramcharitamanas, composed by Goswami Tulsidas Ji. This beautiful testing, testing. This beautiful shloka, chapter 1 from Balkan, a beautiful prayer to Bhagavan Shri Ganesha. Mother Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge, Mother Vani, the goddess of speech, tonight as we sing, the group has sung so beautifully, and of course, the sage Valmiki, the original author of Ramayana. It's called Mangala Ashtatam. It's Goswami Tulsidas Ji puts pen to paper. He says, Varnanam Artha Sanghanam Rasanam Chandasapi Mangalanam Kartaro Vande Vani Vinayako Bhavani Shankaro Vande Shraddha Vishwasanupino Yabhyam Vinana Pashanti Siddhaha Swantastam Ishwaram Vande Bodhamayam Nityam Guru Shakarupino Yamashrito Vakromi Chandraha Sarvatra Vandage Sitaram Gunagram Punyaranya Vivahino Vande Vishudha Vijnana Kavishwar Kapishwara Prem se bolo Bhagwan Ramachandra ki jai. May the blessings of Maryada Purushottam Shri Ramchandra Ji be upon one and all devotees. I humbly ask you tonight, let us now take 1 minute and go into 1 minute of silence. Why? Not only for all those who we have lost over the past 18 months due to this pandemic, but also most recently to the 4 confirmed deceased and 159 bodies that are still unaccounted for, just down the road here in Surfside in Miami. We sit upright as we pray for those souls. We say, Ram Nam Satya Hai, Om Sadgati. May Bhagwan Shri Krishna guide those souls safely back to their destinations. 1 minute of silence, please. Ram Nam Satya Hai, Om Sadgati. My dear brothers and sisters, seated next to me tonight, A beautiful couple indeed, not so? Give them a lovely round of applause, please. The reason why we are all here. Uncle Anniruddh and Aunty Silar. We'll learn more about them in a short while. But tonight, as we always do in Sanatan Dharma, at the beginning of any festivity, of any ritual, of any puja, any ritual whatsoever, we always go to the feet of Vinayaka, Lord Ganesha. The bhajan says, chant the name of Lord Ganesha, O the beloved Prince of Mother Gauri. I surrender to thee, the Lord of all demigods, beloved Prince of Lord Shiva and Mother Gauri. Chant with me. I want you to clap your hands. And by the way, tonight, this is a collaborative satsang. We all are going to clap our hands and sing to the top of our voices. Prem se bolo Gajanan Swami ki. Gauri Ganesh Uma Mahesh Parvati Nandan Shri Ganesh. Gauri Ganesh Uma Mahesh. Lovely. Gauri Ganesh Uma Mahesh Parvati Nandan Shri Ganesh. Sharanam Ganesh, Sharanam Ganesh, Sharanam Ganesh, Sharanam Ganesh, Shivanandana Ganapati Ganesh, Shivanandana Ganapati Ganesh. Sharanam Ganesh, Sharanam Ganesh, Ganapati Sharanam Ganesh, Sharanam Ganesh, Shivanandana Ganapati Ganesh, Shivanandana Ganapati Ganesh, Gauri Ganesh, Uma Mahesh, Parvati Nandan Shri Ganesh. प्रेम से बोलो गजानन स्वामी की जय. As Sanatanists, Bhagwan has given us his representations on planet Earth. These are two representations right here, mother and father. Scriptures teaches us Matru Deva Bhava, Pitru Deva Bhava. Tonight, wherever your parents are, if they're here, great, bow to their feet. If not, bring their images to the center of your forehead. Wherever they are. I'm not sure if Papa is listening in Trinidad tonight.
No, we didn't know it would be live.
Okay. It's not too late to call him and tell him, Aunty Silar's beautiful, wonderful soul. Tonight, we bow to our parents as we give God praise and thanks. Our parents, our foreparents, and our ancestors tonight as we sing this beautiful chant. It says, many repeated salutations to you, O Lord Sai, the refuge of the forlorn. You were born as a son of Nanda and presently the incarnation of our age, Sai Gopal, who resides in Bandi. We sing this beautiful song. Prem se bolo Shri Guru Maharaj ki jai.
कोटि प्रणाम, शतकोटि प्रणाम, कोटि प्रणाम, शतकोटि
दीननाथ साईनाथ, हे दीननाथ साईनाथ, हे दीननाथ साईनाथ. Everyone. कोटि प्रणाम, शतकोटि प्रणाम, हे दीननाथ साईनाथ. प्रेम से बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय हो. As musicians, as students, as human beings, we always worship Saraswati Mata for her blessings. She is the goddess of knowledge, the goddess of wisdom. She controls our speech, she controls our temperament, and her color is white, shweta, peaceful. Tonight, let us blend our voices as we glorify Saraswati Mata with this beautiful bhajan made popular by the late Shri Pandit Nirmal Maharaj. या कुन्देतु तुषारहार भवना, या शुभ्रवस्त्रामृता, या वीणामृदण्डमण्डितकरा, या श्वेतपद्मासना, या ब्रह्मादित्य शङ्कर प्रभुतिभिः देवै सदा वन्दिता, सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निशेषजायामः. जय 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 श्री सरस्वती माता. Principal, come on, sing. Oh! Saraswati Jai. May the blessings of Saraswati Mata be upon one and all. My dear mothers and fathers, Shawnee, you can play in between, no problem. My dear mothers and fathers, gurus, reverend panditas and pandits, if any are here or online perhaps, uncles and aunties, Aunty Silar, Uncle Annirudh, nieces and nephews, my dear cousins. And speaking of cousins, I would like to welcome my big brother, my cousin Ken, and my bhauji, Sundarji, all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. Give them a nice round of applause, please. Brothers and sisters, friends and relatives, children, my dear godchildren and grandchildren, welcome to this beautiful evening, this satsang, to celebrate the 65th birthday of Aunty Silar, the 68th birthday of Uncle Anniruddh, and their 44th wedding anniversary, all in the past couple of weeks. Give them a lovely round of applause. On this milestone that you all have achieved, what an honor it is to sit amongst friends and relatives, brothers and sisters, celebrate with you in this way, in this format. We have all been locked down, locked in for the last 18 months, not so? And as we say in Guyana, we're ready to sport. Meaning that we are ready to spread our wings, cautiously of course. Best wishes, Auntie, coming from every one of us and those online and all over this world, wherever this broadcast tonight is reached. As we begin tonight's session, it's going to be a little bit different. We're going to do a lot of bhajans, and certainly we're going to touch. The couple requested Lil Kataham Bhagwan Shri Krishna will do just that. But as we begin today being Shanibar, Saturday, my dear brother Nirmalji is here, and I always ask him to sing for us the glorious verses of Shri Hanuman Chalisa, 40 glorious verses. Tonight, you must know of someone who is sick and suffering. There's so many in this world today. Someone who's in the ICU, someone who has perhaps gone to the beyond. Families that are suffering, families that are hurting. Tonight, let us dedicate this rendition of Shri Hanuman Chalisa to all those who are sick and suffering and all the needy. You see, when Goswami Tulsidas Ji put pen to paper and composed these 40 glorious verses, so powerful indeed, he says, this Chalisa is able to help those who are lost, who are seeking light, who are seeking a sense of direction to find their way. It is said, chanting this Chalisa, reciting this Chalisa, especially on a Tuesday, if you're looking for direction, start early in the morning and keep chanting as many times as you can. By 6 p.m. that evening, your answer, you will receive your answer from Pavanaputta Hanumanji. There is, when we feel threatened, when we feel weak, when we are afraid, especially during these times, there's one verse that says, Sab sukh lahi tumhari sarana, tum rakshak kaho ko darna. Those who take refuge in you enjoy all happiness. Let me repeat. Those who take refuge in you, O Mahavir Swami, enjoys all happiness. If you are the protector, why fear when you are here? The next verse I like to quote. It says, Na se rog hare sabapira. What? Japata nirantara hanumata bira. You destroy all diseases and remove all pains. I repeat, Hanumanji. Na se rog hare sabapira. Japata nirantara hanumata bira. You remove all diseases and remove all pain. Destroy diseases and remove all pain. We ask him tonight to step in and take charge to rid this world of this deadly pandemic. When one utters your name, Japata nirantara hanumata bira. When one utters your name continuously, why fear when you are here? Tonight as we pray with this family, we channel all of our positive energy, all the energy that you are feeling right now. I know I can feel your energy. Positive energy to all those in this world today who are sick and suffering. If anyone in here is hurting tonight, let us be uplifted. Let us be energized with all positivity. When you smile, the world smiles with you. So I want you to smile and sing the Hanuman Chalisa tonight. Feel the energy. Clap your hands and sing aloud. My brother Nirmal will take us through. Prem se bola Pavana Putra Hanuman ki. Nirmal ji.
Ram बुद्धिहीन तनु जान के सुनो मिलो मान कुमार मन बुद्धि विद्या देव हरि हर मुझले
प्रेम से बोलो पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय. Thank you very much, Nirmalji. You can feel certainly the energy and the power of the recitation and chanting of Sri Hanuman Chalisa. Perhaps one of the most powerful, most potent forms of spiritual medication given to mankind by Goswami Tulsidas Ji. To the members of the Shiva Mandir, the board of directors here, My group is here as well. Thank you very much for allowing us to use this beautiful ashram. And we give praise and thanks tonight to Bhagwan for allowing us this opportune moment of bliss in collective devotion. Goswami Tulsidas says in Ramayana, Satya Samagama Hari Katha Tulsi Durlabha Doi Sutadara or Lakshmi Papi Ke Bihoi. The only reason we can assemble like this in satsang tonight here at Shiva Mandir is because of our past karmas, our past good deeds. Devotees, always remember, nothing happens without the blessings of God. We are like puppets, and He is the puppeteer. Let us glorify Him tonight as we call upon Gopal, Shyam, Kanhaiya, Vasudeva, Bindravan Bihari Lal ki Jai. Radhe Govinda Gopala, Jai Jai Govinda Radhe Gopala. Oh Radhe Govinda Gopala, Jai Jai Govinda Radhe Gopala. Radhe Gopala, My dear devotees, did you feel the energy? Yes? I hope so. If not, see me after the katha. The power of Nama Smaran, one of the 9 forms of devotion given to Mother Shabari by Prabhu Shri Ram. What is Nama Smaran? Chanting and recitation of the name of Bhagwan. Just last week, I believe, I was conducting a funeral for their auntie down in South Miami. And I was reminisced, sometimes as Pandits we go into the hospitals and the ICUs and so forth, we ask those that are about to leave their bodies, the souls about to depart, uncle, auntie, sir, ma'am, please can you just chant the name of Bhagwan? Any name. If you are Catholic, you call him Christ. If you are Muslim, you call him Allah, Buddha. And of course as a Hindu, Ram, Krishna, so many of them. And sometimes when you ask the person to chant this name in their last breath, their last few moments, they will do this to you. I don't know how. Bhagavan Shri Krishna tells us in Bhagavad Gita, at our very last moment, if we call upon him, it's a very good chance based on our correct karmic actions, that he will lead us to our next destination. Who knows where that will be? During tonight's katha, we will examine very closely some of the philosophical surroundings of the childhood pranks of Bhagavan Shri Krishna that he did. When we think of Bhagavan Krishna, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? What is the first thought that comes to your mind? When anybody? Sorry? Stealing butter. I like that one. Any others? Krishna. That's the mal. Govardhan. Blowing the basuri. Peacock feather. What about naughty? Harden. Good hardener. We'll see why tonight. He was known as a naughty boy, good or bad. And why was he naughty? So that you and I can learn to live in peace and harmony. And as Bhagavan Shri Satya Sai Baba says, love all and serve all equally, selflessly. Help ever and hurt never. That is what Bhagavan Shri Krishna stands for, devotees. To teach mankind how to live. To teach mankind how to live. To show us the way back to Godhead, Vaikuntha. Isn't that our ultimate destination? Isn't that where we're trying to buy this plane ticket to get a reservation to go back home? If not, we need to re-examine quickly. Help ever and hurt never, our motto tonight. As we examine tonight a very popular incident from our holy scriptures, and yes, Maharji, Makhan Chori, the butter thief, where Lord Krishna got the name, the butter thief. And what was the significance of this? Our katha tonight takes us to the home of Mata Yashoda as she is about to begin her daily chores. And let me ask you, let me just do a survey in the audience tonight. What time do you all start your morning chores? Anybody? 9, 10? Everybody quiet. Somebody said at 10, 11, 12? 6, 5, AM or PM? Thank you for your responses. Mata Yashoda was the mistress of her home. And according to traditional custom, she did all the chores of her household. She was boiling the milk, curdling it, churning it, and preparing the butter, which we will speak about tonight. All these activities were personally done by her. And she always awoke at 4:30 a.m. We all get up at 4:30, right? Brahma Muhurat. Yes. And it's the beginning of that period called Brahma Muhurat, before the sun rises. She would take a bath, perform her morning duties, and later, milk was a very, very common and a very, very important commodity in this household. Devotees, she would place the milk pot before her, and she started churning the contents of that milk vigorously, pulling the ropes, the ropes of the churn stick, that is. And she kept the churn rod, as it was called, steady in liquid, while singing sweet hymns of Bhagavan Shri Krishna, What kind of hymns was she singing? Tonight, we'll sing one of those hymns. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayana Hari Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayana Hari Lovely. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayana Hari Hari Keshava Hari Govinda, Hari Narayana Hari The blessings of Bhagavan Shri Krishna be upon one and all. So Mother Yashoda is churning this milk now and singing the beautiful praises of Ghanshyam. Meanwhile, Gopal, Krishna, he came forward with very slow and very steady steps to where his mother was, churning and singing, And he gave a sudden sharp tug, a pull at her sari. Naughty boy, Mata Yashoda was startled as this unexpected pull on the sari, And she turned around. But she was most pleasantly surprised when she found that it was none other than mischievous Krishna. Putting a stop now to the churning, she took baby Krishna into her arms and she began to fondle him. She says, "Dear son, mere lal, it's not dawn yet. Why did you get up so soon, boy? Go, my darling, go. Sleep again now for a few minutes. Go and take a second nap, in other words." But the divine child, he was entranced. He was hungry. So he began sobbing pathetically. And to confirm now this yearning to be fed, when a child is hungry, the child will cry, not so? Two things a child will cry for: hunger and pain. And some children cry for other things. They want this, they want that, and they can't get it, right? When a child cries, devotees, a mother's heart melts. Not so, Auntie? The love of a divine mother, the love of a mother, you've heard this from me many, many times, cannot be measured in any sort of metrics that we have in this world today. The love of a mother. A mother's love is fathomless. A mother's love is fathomless. Mata Yashoda now, her heart melted when the baby started to cry. And she placed the churning rod now on one side, she covered the pot with a lid, and then she took Krishna on her lap, sitting just where she was. And while feeding him now, she was breastfeeding him. She began to stroke his head gently and softly. You remember when you had little babies at home, that you would stroke their head? Lots of babies in the audience tonight. Pardon me, it's a little bit warm up here. Krishna is generating some heat. Just then, as she was patting him, she heard a noise of a pot rolling down from the oven in the kitchen inside. She suspected it was a mischievous work of a cat. Cat love to eat butter and so on. So she lifted the child from her lap and placed it now on the floor, placed him on the floor. For she had to run to the kitchen to see what was taking place. And when Mother Yashoda disappeared into the next room now, Bhagavan Shri Krishna was incensed at her behavior, dropping him into the middle of the meal. While in the middle of breastfeeding, she dropped him, so he got angry. Good angry, eh? And he saw this pot now of dahi, and he turned all of his anger towards this pot. He gave it a hard blow with that churning stick, with that rod. And when the curds, when that makhan now, the curds, dahi, began to flow on the floor, he collected some butter, and you will see the pictures where he was eating this makhan, dahi, from the ground. Stuffed it now into his mouth, and he hastened out of the room, not to be found. And when Mother Yashoda came into the room now, she saw the broken pot. Could you imagine what her reaction was? And all of the dahi scattered on the floor. And the butter certainly gone, right? And Lord Krishna now made himself scarce. He could not be found, little baby. Knowing this to be his work now, she realized right away who was the culprit here. She began to search for him in every nook and corner of that home, but she couldn't find him anywhere. Devotees, she went into neighboring homes and started to ask whether or not they had seen the Lord. Everyone declared they had not seen this child, and they had no idea where he was. Mother Yashoda became really frightened now. She's thinking in her mind, he must have run away. Punishment for having broken the pot and spilling its contents. He was afraid to be punished. She's thinking this. She says, poor child. He ran out into the darkness. Children are afraid of the dark. And some adults are afraid of the dark too. But children are normally afraid of the dark. You see, when we were growing up in Trinidad, and my parents are guilty of it, I'm sure yours might have been too. Those of you who grew up in Trinidad, parents would tell you, don't go out in the dark, it have something called babu. You hear that? Jambi. Yes, that's a common one. Babu and Jambi. And in some parts of the island, you hear something like sukuya and thing. You all familiar with those terms? Yes, all right. So, Bhagavan Shri Krishna was not afraid. He went out. She searched all over the house again, house after house. And at last, she caught him in the act of taking a pot of butter now, from a sling in somebody else's house, where the mistress of the house had kept a secret pot filled with milk and curds and butter. Bhagavan Shri Krishna was standing in an upturned mortar, which is the ukriya, the mosa, you know what that is, right? The mortar and the pestle. So it was an upturned mortar. He was standing upon that, so that he could lift now the butter from the pot and bring it down safely so it can be shared with his comrades. This little baby wanting to share with his comrades. Yashoda Ma shouted, "You thief! Chor!" She says, "Do you behave like this in every house?" She began to scold him with words now. And when the poor cowherd maids, the gopis now, complained to me about your thefts, I used to blame them without even verifying what their complaints were and send them away. I would believe my child, not them. But here, I have seen it now with my own eyes. Yes, I can scarcely believe what my eyes are seeing. Oh, how mistaken I was these days. I cannot let you escape. I will not let you escape hereafter. No. If I let you off now, O Ghanshyam, on the plea that you are my child, later it will lead you on to the calamitous crime. Devotees, you see the lesson here tonight? First lesson. If I let you go now without a scolding or a warning or correction, later on in life, you'll commit perhaps a bigger crime. There's a very common thing that goes on these days. If there's a crime, for example, if you watch the news, I don't watch news anymore, I give up. If you watch the news, like at 7 o'clock news or 10 o'clock news, on TV especially, they will tell you someone got shot or someone is involved in a crime, let's say down in South Miami or somewhere in Miami, Fort Lauderdale even, and they will interview the person's mother. And the mother will come on and her first statement would be, well, you know, he's a good boy and he's just in the midst of bad company, you know, he's a good child, you know, they will let him go, they release him off. If that mother was like Mother Yashoda here, and correcting that child's actions from day one, you know the answer to the rest. There will not have been a situation like that. There's a common statement that the children, or they say the chip or the fruit don't fall far from the tree. Not so. Devotees, let us be a tree that is satyam, truth, purity, and divinity. Let us be like that tree. Let us only bear fruits that will represent our characters, our lineage. We speak of our lineage. My brother and I were speaking about our family lineage. We have a duty. We have an absolute duty to uphold the lineage, the image, not necessarily image, but the lineage, the good name. Prana jai, para vachana na jai. If it means your life, you live up to your word to uphold your good name. Because when we leave this world, when you and I leave this planet, the only thing that we will take with us is our character. Devotees. Mother Yashoda continues. She says to Bhagavan Shri Krishna, Ghanshyam, I will punish you effectively now and not pardon you at all. And when the child of a great family turns a thief or becomes a thief, it is a disgrace to the entire clan. You see what the Katha is saying? Exactly what I just told you. This ill fame, she says, cannot be wiped off that easily. She continues, the reputation of our family will suffer because of your actions, O Shyam. Her agony now was beyond expression, devotees. She had never suffered so much humiliation. On one hand, she was feeling sad for her child. On the other hand, she is angry of what the actions of her son. And she yielded now to a great rush of anger. She became very angry. And she brought a long rope. She brought a long rope now and went near Shyam. What do you think she was going to do with him? I hope so. She was going to tie him up now to that heavy mortar that the Musa was Ukri, sorry, that was on the ground overturned. Now Gopal, the Lord of this world, he knew everything. He willed that to happen. He knew her intention. So what did he do? He slipped out and he dodged now out of the door and made every attempt not to allow her to catch him. Yashodama ran behind him continuously through every single street and every single lane in that city. And she was, Yashodama was a little bit on the chunky side, if you know what I mean, right? She was a little overweight. So even with her size, she was able to charge after Ghanshyam. Devotees, she soon became exhausted. And she became slower now, and she was gasping for breath. Men, women, and children in this city began to laugh at her in her vain pursuit of her child. They enjoyed the fun and derived all of the merriment from Krishna's prank and his mother's foiled attempt now to attempt to bind him, to tie him up. You see, Gopal is omniscient. Nothing is hidden from him. Nothing can be hidden from the Lord. I repeat, nothing can be hidden from the Lord. And he realized that his mother was too tired to move, and he allowed himself now to be caught. What a good child. He allowed himself now to be caught because he felt sorry for Ma. Ma became tired. Devotees, Yashoda Ma now could not lift her hand to beat or to hit him. Anybody want to answer why? She could not lift her hand to strike Gopal. You see, he was God Supreme, or he is God Supreme, Bhagwan. She caught him firmly by his hand, saying, come home, you thief. It wouldn't be nice for me to beat you in public in the bazaar. Everybody will see and they will laugh. I will teach you a lesson from home. Let's go, come on. Devotees, there's a beautiful bhajan that depicts this scene as Yashoda Mata begins now to question Bhagwan Shri Krishna on what actually took place. The bhajan says, try G.
मैया मोरी हो मैं नहीं मांगन पायो कहत सुनत है आखर खाए कहत सुनत है आखर खाए झूठा दोष लगायो और मैया मोरी मैं नहीं मान मैया मोरी ओ मैं नहीं मान और मैया मोरी मैं नहीं मान यमुना के तट पर द्वार माल सक आर शहर में तेरा ओ गैया चढ़ावत बंसी बजावत गई सांझ की बेरा भूख लगी तो दौड़त दौड़त भूख लगी तो दौड़त दौड़त सीधा दौड़ लगायो और मैया मोरी मैं नहीं मांगन और मैया मोरी मैं नहीं मांगन ना कोई बने मटकी भूली ना तेरी की छोरी ओ जान लिए क्यों मुझको भूला मुझसे मैया मोरी अपने अंग को कैसे समझा अपने अंग को कैसे समझा तूने आज पढ़ाई ओ मैया मोरी मैं नहीं मांगन ओ मैया मोरी मैं नहीं मांगन भगवान श्री कृष्ण when Yashoda Ma is asking him, Gopal, did you steal the milk? Did you steal the dahi? He says, no Maya, no Ma, I haven't. Then Yashoda Ma, now realizing the love and the meaning of this, we'll speak about this in a minute. She begins to speak to Bhagwan Shri Krishna and she says, very emotional with tears in her eyes, she began to sing. मैं नंद के लाला गाए ढोल कहाँ ओ अपने घर में कौन कभी मुझको बाहर मांगन आयो बात सुनी तो माता यशोदा बात सुनी तो
Yashoda Ma now realizing that she's speaking to none other than the Lord of this universe, Ghanshyam. She drew him close to him now. She drew close to him. And there, she dragged him now to one side of a huge stone, a mortar, in order to bind him, to tie him up with the strong rope. But the rope was too short. I wonder why. And she went in now and she brought another rope to join this one to tie him now to the first one. And she had to do it again and again and again. For however long that rope was, Bhagwan Shri Krishna seemed to grow so big, it could not even reach around him. And just a bit more length now was needed to tie him up properly. And the mother, she began now to wonder this amazing development. To what was this miracle to be ascribed? She had no idea. And at last, somehow she was able to tie this knot, leaving him bound to that mortar, that big piece of stone. Yashoda Ma, she went into the house now to do her regular household duties. Bhagwan Shri Krishna, he drew the mortar along with him and he ran into the garden, dragging this heavy stone with him now, with the mortar rolling behind him. And there a large tree grew with twin trunks, so the two trunks were going up like this. And he went right through that tree trunk with the mortar and he ripped the tree, uprooted the tree now from the earth to overcome the obstacles. So you see the message here tonight, devotees. It doesn't matter how many obstacles that you have in life. Once you place it to the feet of Bhagwan Shri Krishna, just like that obstacle called the mortar, that big chunk of stone, he will drag it away. He will take it. He's the remover of all obstacles. The name of God, the name of Bhagwan, is able to help the dumb to speak eloquently. I don't like the word dumb, the mute to speak eloquently. The crippled to climb the highest mountains and the blind to see. Prem se bolo ba ke Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. Devotees, the tree now fell. You all know the sound of a falling tree. It fell with like a thunder. And the noise attracted everyone to Yashoda's home where the tree had fallen. And even though there was no storms or any winds or lightning or hurricanes or anything, Yashoda Ma, she didn't know what was going on. She ran outside, hurried outside to see what had happened. And she was very surprised at what she saw. Gopal was in the midst of a fallen foliage, the fallen trees, between the broken branches. Yashoda Ma, like any mother, when a child is hurt, she groaned loud and she went to him and says, Gopal! She went to him and she began now to untie the rope because she began to feel sorry. It's a child. She carried away the child now and felt quite relieved that he was in fact escaped another terrible calamity. She says, my child, she's asking him now, were you frightened? Were you scared? My child, how wicked I was as a mother. She started to cry aloud now. Oh, how wicked I was. But while she was lamenting thus, two divine forms, both male, one male and one female, emerged from that tree and said, O Lord, we are the sons of Kuber, the twin brothers, Nalakuber and Manigriva. Through our curse of the sage Narad Muni, we were turned into this tree and existed as such. And this day has now seen the end of this curse through your grace. And if you permit us, we shall go back to our own place. And then the two divine forms disappear. At the sight of these strange divine forms, devotees, the people of Gokula were taken aback and they were filled with great joy and satisfaction. Srimad Bhagavad Gita tells us, chapter 12, verses 6 and 7, as we speak, and I summarize tonight. Prem se bolo ba ke Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. Radhe Radhe Govindam Bhagwan Vacha. Ye tu sarvani karmani mai sanyasa matpadaha ananyena yogena madhyayanta upasate tesham aham samudhata mrityu samsara sagarata bhavami chacharat partha maya aveshta chetasam. Prem se bolo ba ke Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. Bhagavan says, Yetu sarvani karmani, but those who dedicate their actions to me. Now, let us examine this real quick. If all your actions are dedicated to God, do you think you will do anything wrong? Can you do anything wrong? Would you hurt anyone? Would you commit a crime if all your actions are dedicated to God? Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba teaches us, Man krama vachan se ekod. When the mind when the thought, the mind, the action are all aligned and they're filled with truth, you can never hurt another individual, devotees. You can never hurt another individual. In this day and age, in this age of Kali Yuga, we are very prevalent, we are very common to do this, to point and blame each other, not realizing that there are three fingers pointing back to us. Let us not add to our karma. I'm going to digress for one quick second. We all are very familiar with bank accounts, right? Anybody here not have a bank account? I'm sorry, I can't help you there. Here in Florida, in some parts of the world, we have TD Bank, we have Chase, Scotia, and so forth. What are the banks? Wells Fargo and all these guys, right? BT&T, BB&T, something like that. We as human beings, Sanatanists, we have something called a spiritual bank account. And you don't need to go to a bank or make an appointment to open one of these accounts. Those accounts are open on the minute we are born. The minute we are born, that account is open. And it bears interest. Listen to me carefully, not the 0.005 they give you here at the bank, but it bears interest of a tremendous nature, considerable amount. What is that interest? You see, being in satsang and the good deeds that you do, when you help ever and hurt never, you're building interest into that account. You are increasing your balance in that account. And why do we need the spiritual account? This is an analogy, okay? Why do we need the spiritual account? You see, when our time comes to leave this planet, whether it's today, tomorrow, day after, the next week, the next year, 10 years from now, based on our karmas, negative and positive, right? We are going to end up perhaps with a credit balance here with our karmas, right? Follow me. If that spiritual bank account is in a positive state and has earned numerous amounts of interest, when it comes time to negate now, to balance the books, so to speak, the books of karma, hopefully the interest and the balance in the spiritual bank account outweighs the negativities that we have accumulated while on this planet. And that's the way, that's one way. Bhagavan Shri Krishna tells us in Katha that you can come to me. Suffer little children, the Bible tells us, suffer little children and come on to me. Bhagavan Shri Krishna is telling us this tonight. He says, Mai sanyasa mat paral ananya deva yogena mam dhyayanta upasate. For those who decide to dedicate all their actions to me, regarding me as the supreme goal, worshipping me and meditating on me with their exclusive devotion, O Arjuna, I will swiftly deliver them from this ocean of samsara, this ocean of birth and death, for their consciousness is united with me. Devotees, our goal in life, according to Sanatana Dharma, is to achieve Atma-Nivedana, going back home to God. Bhagavan Shri Krishna reiterates that his devotees reach him. How can we reach him quickly? He says, with the personal form of God as the object of our devotion. God as the object of our devotion, not material things, not jewels, not money. God as the object of our devotion, we can easily forget or focus the mind and the senses upon him. And that's the way. Those who engage yatam, tesham aham samudharta, mrityu samsara sagarta. Those who engage their tongues and ears in chanting like we are doing tonight and listening to the scriptures, the divine names of God, their eyes, focus their eyes in seeing the beautiful divine images of Bhagavan, form their bodies and actions for his pleasure, using their body, Shavarima, perfect example, using the mind, body and soul for the pleasure of Bhagavan, their mind constantly, repetitiously thinking about him. This is the quickest way to come back home, devotees. My dear devotees, Mata Yashoda, despite many occasions which Lord Krishna demonstrated his divinity, she continued to regard him as a human child, as a mere mortal. Even though she saw the universe, where did she see the universe? In his mouth, yes, the entire universe. Prem se bolo Bhag Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. She would frequently thank the Lord for saving her child from many dangers. And when he was accused earlier now of stealing the butter, he replied, I did not steal the butter, ma. Instead, I stole the hearts of the gopikas. Our lesson tonight. He did not physically steal the butter. It was the hearts of you and I, the gopikas, devotees. Similarly, as he stole the hearts of the gopikas 44 years ago, this wonderful couple stole each other's hearts in a bookstore. Charan's? I forgot that one. Charan's bookstore. No commercial for Charan. So, Uncle Anniruddh ji, he wanted to write a letter to a girl. And he wanted some nice stationery that had nice love notes and so forth on it, you know. So poor fellow with the charms. And who he bunks up? The book lady. So she sold him a very nice notepad with some nice love quotations on it. And he went home and he wrote the letter. But what he forgot was that she put her address on the letter instead of him putting the other girl address on it. So she got the letter instead. And that's all. Devotees, this is how they met 44 years ago. And this marriage has produced two wonderful children. My beautiful sister Nika ji, and of course Erdon ji, who is on his way. He's outside preparing. He's the Singh's roti. You know, their hearts are very pure and filled with the love and devotion for Bhagavan Shri Krishna. When I moved to Florida, some 32 plus 33 going on 34 years ago, one of the first homes, and Nirmalji can attest to this too, one of the first homes we used to go to perform satsang was at the home of Aunty Silar. And some of the most beautiful satsangs that you could ever experience. A lot of energy, a lot of shakti, like tonight as well. Their butter is filled with the devotion for which they churn the buttermilk. Their bangles keep them in time as they sing the name of Krishna while churning. And there's Erdon in the back. Come on, give this family a lovely round of applause. Come on, front bhaiya, aye, come on. This is Mr. Singh's roti himself. You bring doubles by? The butter that results from this churning by this family, it contains the essence of the Vedas. You see, they practice love all and serve all. If you haven't been to Aunty Silar's puja store yet, I'm not sending you to buy anything. Just go and walk in there and have a chat with her. A wealth of knowledge. Of course, she worked in a bookstore. She has to be knowledgeable. Let the butter of divinity, devotees, encapsulate you, our hearts tonight, and only allow positive thoughts, words, and resultant actions from you. When we call upon Baki Bindravan Bihari Lal tonight to infuse his mystical powers into each of our seven major chakras, as there are seven musical notes in any musical instrument. Now, so Shani will tell us, Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Pa, Dha, Ni, Sa. 7. Sa is repeated twice. They correspond to the 7 chakras in this body. And incidentally, that basuri he's playing has 7 notes. That 7 notes represents the 7 chakras. So tonight, as you leave this beautiful ashram and this beautiful satsang, I would like you to, next time you think of Bhagavan Shri Krishna, of all the different leelas we know him for, think of that basuri. And as he blows the mystical air through that basuri, think of he's blowing that air through on top of our heads. And it's going through each of the 7 major chakras in this body. Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Pa. From the Mooladhara chakra where Lord Ganesha and Mother Durga resides to the base here, to the Sahasrara chakra where Lord Shiva resides. And as Lord Krishna blows that air through all these chakras, he's energizing us inside and purifying us, our minds, our thoughts, our bodies, our souls, our speech. So the next time someone picks up a phone or someone interacts with you and they say, boy, you're here so and so, say these words to that person. Jai Shri Krishna. Go up the road. I have no business with that. Satyam Vara Dharmachala. When you stand up for the truth, when you stand up for righteousness, one day to come, that truth, Dharma, will stand up and protect you. Walk tall, walk proud, and be happy, devotees. Tonight, we go into this next bhajan, but before we do that, it's an evening of love. And I'd love to do this exercise. We haven't done it in 18 months. Come on. I want you to look to the person to the left of you tonight. You know this person? Left of you. You know this person, boy? I want you to tell this person, I love you. Come on, say it. It doesn't cost you anything. Now look to the right of you. And tell this person, I love you. Now look up here and tell me, Baba, I love you. No, I'm just joking. I love you all too. Devotees, let me ask you something. What did that just cost you?
Smile.
Yep.
Smile.
You see, there's a mystical formula. Love, when divided, it multiplies. And Pandit Neil added something to this. Love, when divided, multiplies exponentially. And how do you get the exponential love? It's when you love and you don't look for anything in return. When you love unconditionally, looking for nothing in return. You know why? I go to Ramayana again. Bhagwan, Goswami Tulsidas, she says, Siya Ram mai sab jagajani karahu pranam jori jugupani. That same soul that exists in every one of us. It's equal. Bhagwan Shri Krishna tells us in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 23. Nainam chindanti shastrani nainam dahati pavakaha na chainam kledo yantyapo na shoshati marutaha. This soul belongs to no one. It does not have a passport. It doesn't have a color. It does not have a country. It has no, you cannot drown it in water. You cannot burn it in fire. You cannot cut it with a knife. It exists and is equal in every single one. You see, the day you realize that, devotees, nothing else in this world matters. Nothing matters. The only thing should matter is how do I go back home from where I have come? And if you believe that it is okay that you want to die, you believe in reincarnation, yes, we all believe reincarnation based on karmic actions, and you want to come back on this earth to go through this again. You know, we have people in the older days in Trinidad, one neighbor quarreling with the next one. She tells the other neighbor, this happened in where I live down in Debe. When I die and I come back, I will do for you. So she already planning to go and come back and do for the neighbor. Devotees, if you think COVID-19 was bad, I hope there's not a COVID-20. Pray to God. Let us not focus on materialism. Brothers and sisters, from March of 2020, when this pandemic began, many lives have been affected. So many, to call names. Wherever those souls are tonight, we pray as a community for those departed souls. Dadaji, the late Pandit Hariom Sharanji, composed a very beautiful bhajan, praising the forms of Bhagwan. Very powerful bhajan. As we all blend our voices tonight and celebrate with this wonderful couple. To all of you here, I'd like to hear all of you smiling, see all of you smiling and singing to the top of your voices. Let us make this a very memorable night for this wonderful couple. O Kanha re, more Kanha, more Kanha. O Kanha re, more Kanha, more Kanha. Man mein lagaiya lagaiye, mujhe sunaiye, Kanha tumhe hoga, o Kanha tumhe hoga. Come on. and sisters, as we bring this session of devotion to a close, we have a couple speakers, yeah? She here? Praveen is here? Yes? Okay, all right. As we move into the next very short session, which will be speeches and so forth, let me thank all of you for coming from near and far on this, perhaps the first gathering since the pandemic started 18 months or so ago. You know, I'll leave you with a little story. Once a Gopika went to a well to bring 2 pitchers of water. And after placing 1 pitcher on her head, she wanted someone now, you know, water is heavy, eh? For those of us who have had to go fetch water in Trinidad, I think they're still fetching water in Trinidad because it happened in the pipe. So that wasn't an attack on any political party, I'm sorry. Once she had this 1 pot of water, pitcher on her head, and it became very heavy now. So she's looking for someone to place the other pitcher, the goblet on her head, on top of it. And at that time, Bhagwan Shri Krishna came there and she asked him, you know, Bhagwan, please help me now, place that pitcher on top of the first one. Bhagwan Shri Krishna refused to do so. Soon another Gopika came along, you know, and helped the first Gopika. And the Gopika carrying now the 2 pitchers of water reached her home. Bhagwan Shri Krishna followed her home. And even without waiting to be asked, he reached up and he took the top pitcher up and placed it on the floor. She was very surprised now at Lord Krishna's strange behavior. She's wondering, why did he do this? Why did he help me put it up? Now he wants to take it down. You see, she asked Bhagwan Shri Krishna. She says, at the well, you refused to place that pitcher on my head when I appealed to you to help me. Now you take it down from my head without even asking. What is the inner meaning of this action? Bhagwan Shri Krishna replied. He says, oh Gopika, oh my Devi, I remove the burdens of people. I remove the burdens of people. I don't add to them. So you see the moral of the story? God removes our burdens. He will not add to them. Many people, you know, sometimes when they're in problems and so forth, they call the pundits and they ask for advice. I've heard this statement many times from people. Baba, you don't have a God. They don't have a God. God ain't like me. God is a bad God. Devotees. The name Ram, Krishna, it means the ocean of bliss and happiness. God does not know anything about negativity, devotees. God does not deal with that. It does not deal with hurt and pain and suffering. God doesn't do that. Those things are brought on to ourselves, by our actions, by our karmic actions. The minute the words, the thoughts and the deeds are in sync, we don't have to worry about that. And if you believe, devotees, if you believe tonight, that when God is here, you have no fear, then we are on the right path. We all believe tonight that when God is here, we have no fear? Yes? Alright, all looking a little bit, are they too warm or you're all a little bit hungry or sleepy? So let's do this. Let's do a little exercise tonight before we close. I'd like you to raise your right hand like this, or both hands for that matter. Come on, stretch a little bit. Yeah? Feel the energy of Bhagwan Shri Krishna. Alright, touch his feet. And I want you to bring that love of Bhagwan Shri Krishna and place him right here into the chambers of your heart. And don't let him go, devotees. From this point on, all of your words, all of your thoughts, and all of your deeds shall be pure, like the air that comes out from the lips of Bhake Bindravan Bihari Lal. Prem se bolo Bhake Bindravan Bihari Lal ki jai. There's one offering before we go into the speeches I'd like to do for Aunty Ji, something that we have talked about. It's a Bollywood song. It says, this is life. These are the clouds of this life. This is the way of life. A bit of sadness, a bit of happiness, a bit of shadow, a bit of noon, sunshine. And the good and bad moments are here. We treat them equally. Don't think that in this we'll win or lose. There's no winning or losing. And don't think that in this life you're winning or losing. Just accept life that has been offered to you. The way, the method of life, accept it, however it may be. Leave this stubbornness. Don't break this moment. Every moment is delicate as a mirror. And I'll tell you this exact moment that we're seated here tonight, this will never happen again. This gathering can never happen again. It is just so will. There's a possibility, there's a 99.999% possibility that one of us or some of us may not be here for the next gathering. Devotees, Every moment is like a mirror, reflect. One may leave this world, but such a relationship as we are experiencing now is not to be broken. This beautiful song was done by the late Kishore Kumarji, but it's so beautiful and so meaningful. Aunty Silar and Uncle Annirudh, I dedicate this one to you all as well.
ये जीवन है, इस जीवन का ये जीवन है, इस जीवन का यही है, यही है, यही है रंग रूप, ये जीवन है, ये जीवन का यही है, यही है, यही है रंग रूप, मोरे रंग है, मोरे खुशियाँ, मोरे रंग है, मोरे खुशियाँ, यही है, यही है, यही है जादू, ये जीवन है। ये न सोचो इसमें अपने हार है कि जीत है, ये न सोचो इसमें अपने हार है कि जीत है, उससे अपना लो जो भी जीवन की जीत है, ये जिद छोड़ो तू ना छोड़ो, हर एक पल दर्पण है, ये जीवन है, इस जीवन का यही है, यही है, यही है जादू, ये जीवन है। घर से न दुनिया से, घर से न द्वार से, घर से न दुनिया से, घर से न द्वार से, सांसों की दो बनी है, प्रीतम के प्यार से, दुनिया छूटे और ना छूटे, ये कैसा बंधन है, ये जीवन है, इस जीवन का यही है, यही है, यही है रंग रूप, मोरे अंग है, मोरे खुशियाँ, यही है, यही है, यही है रंग रूप, ये जीवन है।
Thank you for that wonderful round of applause. Really appreciate it. I'm glad to see you all appreciating Baba a little bit. That's nice. My dear brothers and sisters, I know it's hot, it's warm. We have to talk to Annirudh about that afterwards. And yeah. And it is summer in Florida. You know, just last Thursday I had to travel to Tampa and I had to fly out of Miami. And of course these days, you know, we use Uber and Lyft and so forth. So I ordered a Lyft for the day before. And a nice young lady came with a pickup, not a pickup, a SUV to pick me up. And I noticed the windows were down. It was hot, it was midday. I said, ma'am, can you please turn the AC up? She said, sure. So she left the windows half down and cranked up the AC, which was not working. And AC not working in Florida in a car? That's painful. nevertheless, I had to show up the minute I reached to Tampa because it was extremely warm. Anyways, I'm sorry that we had to keep you back a little bit. Things ran a little bit late this evening, but I'm sure that once you bear with us here for the next few minutes for the little speeches and dedications and so forth, you will be very, very impressed and very delighted. The beautiful, lovely, delicious food, courtesy of Singh's Roti Delight, waiting for us back there on the warmers. So let me ask all of you tonight to give a lovely round of applause for all the musicians and all the singers, all the veterans tonight, every one of you. Thank you all so much. Thank you so much. God bless you. And I hope that this is the start of something great, that we are going to continue to have more of these satsangs. There are many pundits around, and we'll certainly in all the temples, we start a sense of reopening and getting back to a sense of normalcy with caution. Let me say that very carefully. I believe for those of us from Trinidad, I think the Prime Minister of Trinidad indicated the day that they are opening the borders on the 17th of July. So those of us who haven't been home, so to speak, our second home for a while, might want to think about that. But again, tread cautiously. Now, as I mentioned to you earlier, Aunty Silar, Uncle Annirudh, we have two wonderful children. One of my sister, Nika ji, would say a few words. So let's give a lovely round of applause for Nika. Do we have a mic for Nika ji?
Sitaram, everybody.
Sitaram.
Namaste.
Namaste.
So, ironic being here again. I feel like I grew up in this temple running around like these little kids here. And my dad is now 68. When we moved here many years ago, they were in what, 30s? When we moved here? And it's so nice to see all these faces that I grew up knowing, Uncle Nirmal, Uncle Bharat, Neil, all these people. And we only planned this about a week and a half ago, and we called on all of you just to come and show up, and we truly appreciate you guys just dropping everything and showing up. I know Saturday is a busy day for everyone, so thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Praveen's going to do more of the thanking in a few minutes. I'm going to speak on my parents. So everyone knows my parents, everyone knows my mom especially. And I want to touch on my dad. My dad has always been a constant in our life growing up. My dad, if anyone doesn't know, he was a police officer in Trinidad before we came here, and he was always hardworking, always a constant. He was the one always taking us to doctor appointments and doing everything. Mom was always the one in the business, making the money. So I want to tell Dad, in 68 years, maybe Erdan and I don't say it enough, how much you mean to us, how much we love you, and how much we cherish everything you've done for us. Mom, you too, and you know that. And as parents, now they are 44 years old, married, so which tells you guys how old I am, kind of. It's been an amazing journey to have these parents in my life and Erdan's life, and I pray if we do get reincarnated and we do come back, that we have these parents again, because I couldn't ask for more. And I get emotional, I get kind of nervous, so I'm just going to say a little poem that I found and I thought it fit. A parent's love. No gift on earth is greater, no treasure held above. The joy that comes from knowing a parent's endless love. In spite of how it is tested, it grows from year to year, providing strength and comfort. It always draws us near, it warms and it protects us, and guides us from afar, shedding light upon us like a bright and shining star. And when all things are measured, not one shall rise above or be compared in value to a parent's endless love. And that's truly how I feel, and I know my brother and my husband and my children and my sister-in-law, my lovely sister-in-law. I'm truly blessed to have such a great sister-in-law. And not everybody can say that, but my parents are constant. Pandit Neil, my brother, because I've known him a very, 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 very long time. He knows our family very closely, and he knows the love. For my aunt and my uncles and my cousins and everybody that showed up, it means so much. My auntie Gail is visiting from Canada, and she specially extended her ticket to be here for her brother's birthday. And she just had a birthday along with my mom, so happy belated birthday to them as well. So we're celebrating a lot, and we thank you all for coming here and just taking some time out of your day to enjoy this celebration with us in this short notice. Okay? Thank you, Sitaram.
Sitaram, each and everyone. I think Nika did what I was supposed to do, so. Uncle Pandit Neil, that's my lovely name for you. Thank you. Again, this is a family that do everything last minute, and we are so appreciative of every one of you showing up here tonight, and those of you, aunties and uncles and cousins who came and helped with the preparation and stuff like that. But most of you got a last minute text or, hey, fast now, we having something in the temple. And that's how, we know you love us as much as we love you. We wanted to say thank you so much. In spite of COVID, we know it takes a lot to come out here on a Saturday night, especially. Thank you to FHO for having us on the last minute and texting every moment. Do we need to do this? Do we need to do that? Thanks to Ruba, Uncle Nirmal, Uncle Bharat, Uncle Cassie and family, the entire family, Auntie Vashti, all of you guys. We really appreciate you guys coming from near and far. And we wish Mom and Dad, they're awesome. Happy anniversary. Dad's celebrating his birthday, but it's the best way to spend it in the house of God as opposed to what we did have in mind initially. This came together. And we want to say thank you once again. And we're going to move to the cake cutting part of the night. And after we have some tasks for you guys. We do not want you guys to leave. If you want to go eat and come back, it is my father-in-law's dream to sit and enjoy satsang. So much singing, and everyone, you're welcome to stay back and sing and carry on as much as you want. And whoever wants to go eat, come back, do as you please. The night is young. I just got here. Sit around.
Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else? That's it?
Does anyone else want to say a few words? The mic is open if anyone wants to say anything. No?
Okay, so we move into the right to the cake cutting. Thank you. Give them a lovely round of applause. A wonderful family. Ready? You up to the front? I'd like to ask all of you while they're cutting the cake, join us in this beautiful birthday song. Never bhai, you'll sing the second part.
आज जन्मदिन आज जन्मदिन आज जन्मदिन आज जन्मदिन आज जन्मदिन आज जन्मदिन मुबारक हो आज जन्मदिन मुबारक हो आज जन्मदिन आज जन्मदिन आज जन्मदिन आज जन्मदिन आज
योजितं मया दीपं गृहाणदेव त्रैलोक्यं त्रिरापम् माता पुत्र से प्यार किया है जितना। Guys, hold on to the tassa. Hold on to the tassa until we finish Aarti, please. After this Aarti, and then we'll go into tassa. Okay? कौन करेगा इतना? कौन करेगा इतना? माता मुझसे प्यार किया है जितना। कौन करेगा इतना? कौन करेगा इतना? माँ सुनाओ मुझे वो कहानी जिसमें राजा ना हो। Go ahead and put the malas on. Auntie, sing one verse of Siya Dali Ram Nagar Jai Mala, please.
Siya Dali Ram Nagar Jai Mala
come up with the altar with the thali and we perform the final arati now. For those of you who have come to Shiv Mandir for the first time, welcome, swagatam. We hope you will come again. I'm not sure what the schedule is. Perhaps Annirudh can tell us later on if things are going to start picking back up. And for those of you who have interacted with me for the first time tonight, I say to you, my love, my blessings to each and every one of you. If you have some time on Tuesday evenings, please tune in to my weekly broadcast. I have a 2-hour session of devotion called Shivoham, Universal Healing Through Oneness. Many different scriptures are covered. Right now we are doing something called Bhagavata Vahini and quoting from Srimad Bhagavatam. This coming Tuesday we'll be at episode 92 or 92nd episode. We started this way back last year when the pandemic began. So please join me if you have some time on Tuesdays, live on Facebook, live on YouTube, as well as Akashvani Radio in Trinidad, and of course Bhakti TV in Trinidad as well. So with that, devotees, thank you so much. I know the temperature in here is quite cool, and thank you for being with us tonight for the past couple of hours. I hope you have felt the Shakti, the vibrations, the energy and the love that exists, or we brought together tonight. And when you leave this mandir tonight, please leave, remember, hands, heart and mind, let it all be in tune to the name of Bhagavan Shri Krishna. Every single word that you utter, let it be encapsulated with the name of Krishna. Let it be truthful, let it be loving, and let it be one of peace. And in other words, try to uplift each other. Don't try to bring anybody down. We have a tendency in the society, when we hear something, when we see something, or if we know something, some whatever in the community, we have a tendency to become judge, jury, and executioner. It's a very, very detrimental trait that we practice. We have brought it with us from the Caribbean. Let us leave that. Let us leave those things. They have no value, devotees. No value. Spend your time instead chanting the name of Bhagavan Shri Krishna. Prem se bolwa ke Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki. Om Sajan Javacha Samayuktam Mahinayojitam Maya Deepam Grahanadeva Shatre Lokyam Timirapaham Yani Kani Chapapani Janmayantarkatani Chaha Tani Tani Vinashviti Pradakshanam Pare Pare Aarti Kunja Bihari Shri Giridhar Krishna Murari Aarti Kunja Bihari Shri Giridhar
Radha Raman Hari Govind Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Govind Jai Jai Hari My dear brothers and sisters, tonight, not only did Bhagwan hear us properly, but I'm sure you'll agree with me that our sound system tonight was first class. Give a lovely round of applause to my dear brother, Shiva, Samlal Singh, and his family. Thank you, Shivaji. On the keyboards tonight, my dear brother Sean G. Sean Hajman, please give him a lovely round of applause as we pray for him and his family. As a community, we share in his bereavement and his loss of a beloved Didi. The Holak tonight by Ramesh Kasi and family, what can I say, an accompaniment. Give them a lovely round of applause as well. And ever reliable, always here, my dear brother Nirmalji, singing and chanting with Nirmalji, thank you so much. And Bharatji, Aunty Ji, all of you singing good here as well. And my dear brother Ramji, President of Annirudh, give him a nice round of applause, please. South Florida's premier dental specialist. Wherever you have come from near and far, we thank you. I know the weather it's very cool, as I said, and we'll enjoy. Listen, it's Saturday night, nobody have to work tomorrow, I hope not. And thank you for bearing and staying with us through the last couple of hours. It was a very lengthy session, I know. But if you haven't met Aunty Silar, if you don't know Aunty Silar yet, you don't go by her and leave until after midnight, after 1 o'clock, because cook and eat and all these things. So she's trying to recreate, and I must say, God bless you all with all the love in your hearts for putting this session of devotion, which was much needed, I think, in our community today. Not only celebrating your special occasions, but I'm sure there are many in the audience who might have recently celebrated birthdays, anniversaries, and so forth. Thank you all so much. Devotees, our closing prayers in Tassa boys are warmed and ready and waiting to fire. But hold on 1 second, right? We must close our prayers and then we'll turn it over to you guys. We clasp our hands and pray. Gently bow our heads and close our eyes. Bhagwan Shri Krishna is blowing this basuri. As my dear brother Shahji will play some basuri music for us beautifully. Gopal Ghanshyam, this mystical sound of the basuri engulfs and encases our beautiful hearts and souls. As we have now installed him on that lotus of our heart, as the lotus blossoms tonight, we leave this Yakshala tonight as better people. We leave this Yakshala tonight as peaceful people. We are going now on a mission to help those who are less fortunate. Devotees, if you know of anyone, whether here or listening to this broadcast tonight all over the world, if anyone is unable to put food, or not sure where the next mouthful of food is coming from on their tables because of this deadly pandemic, please reach out to me privately, confidentially. There are many devotees all across this planet tonight, and here globally in South Florida as well, willing to help, to put a meal on a table of a family that's in need. The blessings of Bhagwan be upon one and all tonight. Let us pray. Everyone, please join me. Tvadev Mata cha Pita Tvadev Tvadev Bandhus cha Sakha Tvadev Tvadev Vidya Dravinam Tvadev Tvadev Satyam Tvadev Deva. O Lord, lead us from darkness unto light, lead us from death unto eternity. O thou self-revealing one, Asnuma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Prejurma Amritam Gamaya Paramam Pavitram Bhava Paramam Vichitram Leela Paraman Maitha Moksha Pradhatam Baba Vibhutim Idamasayami Paramam Pavitram Baba Vibhutim Paramam Vichitram Leela Shiva Hari Shiva Ram Sate Prabhu Trividuta Panivarana Hetu Ajjaneshwar Yadav Pahima Shiva Hari Vijayam Pumevaram Kamalaru Janaram Dayani Hara Guru Kratarakshata Upade Shiva Taro Bhava Shankar Pahima Shiva Hari Vijayam Pumevaram Pratidinam Kushalam Jayamangalam Pratidinam Kushalam Jayamangalam Pratidinam Kushalam Jayamangalam Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti. प्रेम से बोलो गजानन स्वामी की, उमापति महादेव की, पवन पुत्र हनुमान की, देवी दुर्गा भवानी शंकर माता की, बाके वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की, सत्य सनातन धर्म की, भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय हो। राधे राधे। Turn to the मूर्ति of भगवान शिव शंकर now. नमो पार्वते पतये हर हर महादेव। May the blessings of Bhagwan something to eat. Enjoy the delicious meals once again. One more time, a round of applause for this beautiful couple this evening. And now, an absolute pleasure to what is the Tassa group's name? We must introduce them properly. Naya what? Janja? Huh? Dynamic Rhythms. Dynamic Rhythms Tassa group. Give them a nice round of applause. Come on. Koti Koti Dhanyavad. Thank you. God bless you. Jai Sitaram. Good. Blessings to you, man. All your blessings. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
We're here for my sister-in-law tomorrow.
Okay, okay.
If you didn't know, I have no power to know my sister.